Hello again, everybody. I'm Row2501, and we find ourselves again in PUBG for highlights. Only this particular highlights video is slightly different in the sense that these are all highlights from what I call hot drops, or what me and my friends call hot drops. It's where we jump into the most dangerous section we could possibly think of in PUBG, and we literally go hunting to see how well we can do. And that's where we find ourselves today. I have hot dropped into Pachinki. There's a good 6 or 7 people here. I hit the church just so I could be a little bit far away from people, at least far enough so that I could arm myself and maybe get a little bit of loot and then go a hunting. As you can hear, people are already starting the gunfights and I am off. As you can see, guy just ran across the way. I thought he ran into this building up here. So I'm gonna go check it out, and like I do with every building in PUBG, especially when I see someone go into it, I clear the building in a specific way before I really ever start to loot. So I'm immediately going to see if I can find this guy. Don't stand in front of a door as I open it. He wasn't in there, so looted a tiny bit. Make sure I shut the door. And then I find one of the best weapons, or one of the best weapons for me, at least in PUBG, Thompson's 45 submachine gun. 30 rounds, straight clip. It's, in my opinion, it's a beast. My friends KGB Assassin 42 and Jackson the Chin Do You Realize also believe it is quite the weapon. So now that I've pulled it, I'm waiting just a couple of seconds to see if anybody is coming up into the building, if they saw me. Quick check of the map. And the reason I was doing that was to see just how far away from the circle I was, to know like how much hunting I could do technically. And you can still hear there's just constant gunfire going on. You know, people in their gunfights, and I'm about to go join the fun. Even though I do have the M16 on my back, I am using the Thompson's 45 for this particular area, simply because I like using it better in like a close quarters type area. It just seems more efficient, and not only that, it's a full auto. And the M16 that I'm currently carrying is only 3-round burst. And the recoil is kind of hefty on that. So then I'm actually much more used to the Thompsons, believe it or not. So here's my first customer. Let him know I was there. Attempted to jump over the wall. And then just pushed him. Which means I'm like actively, aggressively engaging him. He saw me first, missed, and now we play Deadly Ring Around the Rosie. He thought I was in the building, and I totally wasn't. So I smoked him easily with that Thompson's, and that's another reason I love that gun. All high upper body or headshots, of course, kills enemies in quite the quick fashion. So I grab a quick loot, even though I'm technically not supposed to, considering all the firefights that are going on, and kind of grab what I need and just keep on going. So this is just the same hot drop. I seen my next customer. He ran into this tower, and if you see, you can see him walking around in that building up there. Grab some more ammo. I make sure nobody's going to push me in my building. Grab a better helmet, a level 2 helmet. Bit more protection for higher caliber rounds. And that guy's not pushing me, so I'm going after him. I'm circling around, like pulling more of a wider flank. And there he is. Another deadly ring around the rosy, but he popped and he tried to hit me with a shotgun. Down he goes. Not necessarily sure why he pulled that shotgun for that engagement, considering, but I got him. And again, I'm doing another quick loot, which I technically shouldn't be doing, but I did need certain items, so I took a chance and tried to get what I could get. And by now, I need to move towards the circle because the timer's run out. And if you look on the bottom right hand side of the screen, you'll see the little blue bar filling up that's going towards my character, so to speak, my little character icon. That's the circle or gas that's forcing everyone into the engagement zone. It means it's coming for me. So I take a quick look at this building, make sure no one's in it. And the reason I was doing that was because I saw this crate here. I thought there might be somebody in it. So I do a quick loot again, just to see if he has anything I need. Grabbed a level 3 helmet from that guy, which offers the most protection for a head that you can get in the game. You can take one spare 7.62 shot and one spare 5.56 shot. Now I'm finally switching to my M16 because I'm in a wider range. I'm not more enclosed than I was before, so I need the range and the power. And I'm looking around, like constantly looking to see if anybody's coming, especially from those houses over there to my right. And now I'm making sure no one's coming from Pachinki from my back. That's why you constantly see me turning around or backpedaling. Hear a motorcycle incoming. There he is. Just in time to see him fly off his bike. Since I'm close, I pulled my Thompsons and start to go to work. That's the first time I've ever killed anyone in that fashion, where they died on the bike and just kind of slumped over. But someone saw me do that, so I am being engaged quite heavily, if you could hear bullet impacts on the ground flying by my head. Gotta say, he wasn't the best shot in the world. He did eventually put one on me, but that was the only shot he got. The rest were all ground impacts or flybys. Take cover behind a tree. He lost me in the shade, or at distance. He must have had iron sights or something, but either way he lost me. And if you look just to the left of the screen in the distance, you'll see him pop out of his cover. There he goes. Now I've got it 2 times and it's my turn. He went prone, so he's laying flat on the ground trying to get away from me, and it worked. I lost sight of him for a tiny bit, but being that he was prone, you know, he's not going anywhere. Motorcycle in the distance. So I'm just being patient, waiting for him to either crawl into view or stand up and run, because we both have to start moving quite soon because we're out of circle. There he is. Down he goes. So that last run there, like I said, that was the hot drop from earlier this morning. And so this is a second video. This is just a standard run of me, you know, seeing how far or how high a place I can get. He's engaging that Jeep in the distance, and I dropped him from behind using M16 and 4x scope. So the Jeep, he did some damage to it or flattened a tire because it stopped in the middle of the field. So there's the guy, and I re-engage that dude. He might have stopped to loot his crate actually, but what I'm doing now is I'm shooting the vehicle to blow it up because he's still taking cover behind it. He hasn't run away. You'll see him peek out in just a second. So I'm still filling the vehicle full of lead, trying to make it explode. teaching him a valuable lesson not to hide behind your vehicles because they can explode and kill you. And that was the third kill for this particular run. And so, like in the previous hot drop video, the circle, it's coming towards me. If you look at the bottom right hand side of the screen, you'll see the blue bar encroaching towards my character icon. So I've got to move. And I took cover in this little tower real quick just because somebody took a shot at me with a long range rifle. And I'm waiting just long enough for the last second to be ahead of the circle. That's me running just to get ahead of it, and I'm running serpentine, that way people can't get a good shot at me, and I'm also using all these bushes for cover to kind of break their line of sight. I take a quick stop just to look around to see if I could see anybody that's moving or shooting at me. And I also take the time to move a scope onto one of my other weapons because the M16 I have was running out of rounds and I had more bullets for the other gun. So I switched to an AK and I put that 4 times on that weapon. And now what I'm trying to do is move towards cover, which is the set of buildings in front of me. That way I've at least got some padding between me and the other combatants in the level, so I can only be shot at from one particular direction. And again, I'm running serpentine, that way no one can get some decent shots on me. Thankfully, no one saw me. The person who shot at me earlier either died or lost his angle. So I finally find cover. And I take another second just to look around to make sure there's no one either coming towards me or moving. And I do eventually spy someone, but I take a quick look around to make sure there's no one waiting to ambush me. There we go. And then I find more cover at the edge, but I see him along the way. Couldn't quite shoot him because I didn't have a good vantage. And now I start taking shots. But somebody else is shooting at him too. Since I lost him behind the trees, I turned to the direction where the bullets were coming from and start engaging targets. Never a good idea to go prone like that, like he did, by those thinner trees. It's just, he either should have kept moving or tried to take cover, because I wouldn't have been able to see him. But I interrupt these guys' gunfight to steal a kill, and then engage this guy because he's got to start moving because of circle. And boom, 6-kill run. Alright, so this last bit, I just threw it in there as a little aside to demonstrate the power of the micro Uzi or mini Uzi. I hot dropped into the apartments, and there's a dude in the room that I'm looking at. He knows that I'm here. I know that he's there. We're kind of in a standoff, and we're seeing who's going to move first. And the reason I'm kind of sitting still originally was there were other people in our building, and since it's a solo, they were other combatants. So I was just waiting to see if anybody else was going to join our little firefight. But since I know we've got to start this fight one way or another, I'm the first one to make the move. And then I just I move to see if I can make him flinch. Hear a buggy in the distance. He was a very patient player, which I found refreshing, because usually people just maddeningly jump in. here we go. Made him flinch, found out where he was, started to push him. As you can see, I put a ton of bullets into the jamb of that door because of the angle I was at, but quickly reload and drop him. So yeah, never underestimate the power of the micro Uzi, and yeah, watch out for bullets. Thanks for watching.